be on the road.
Are you kidding me? What's up? Oh wait, no. That's not how we do it. Hello, and this is Hbomb, good friends. Episode 34, our E3 preview extravaganza!
Woo! Hype train thing! Whoa! Rolling.
I'm on the hype train. Always on the hype train.
Making his second appearance on this show, Joel Loins.
Hello, how are you? It's late. It's 1 a.m. Let's get this thing going.
Somebody mute that.
1 a.m.? That's not even half. The day's not even half over at that point.
Oh, never mind. That's me. Sorry about that, guys.
Hmm?
Oh, I guess that was me. You probably didn't hear it on your end. Never mind. So, a little bit of work for me to edit out. So Joel's here and also here. This is the first time I've had this combination together on a podcast. Philip Wesley.
Hi. I'm like the Exodia's body of this podcast. Yes.
Yu-Gi-Oh jokes.
Oh, absolutely. Anyways, nice to meet you, Joel.
Nice to meet
I'm
you.
sure you'll hate me at the end of this. I will comment about your awesome pajamas. Oh, and footies. You're wearing footies. Or footy
No,
socks.
those are
Nope.
socks. Those are just regular old
They don't
socks.
even match. That's
No.
awesome. Excellent.
That's whatever
Of course.
socks I want. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's like you're like, I'm a goddamn adult. I can wear two different socks if I want to. On
Hey, look,
purpose.
I'm 19 years old now. I can do what I like. I'm
Well, yeah, actually, you're in England, so yeah, you can drink and all that other stuff.
Oh yeah.
I just gave Blathers a firefly, and he'll promptly cancel it.
No, he's an owl, not a fox.
Oh, true. Red's not in my town today.
I'm coming, Elizabeth!
I'm scared to go back to my Animal Crossing town. I haven't touched it in about 3 months.
Well, if you have the beautiful town ordinance, all that'll happen is you'll have a couple new villagers.
Yeah, no.
Maybe I should switch to that.
I'm gonna find
So
everyone dead.
guys, you guys know what's gonna happen here.
Mhm.
3, 2, 1. What's up?
Yeah, stuff.
You look so scared there, Joel.
I was expecting it, but then it hit, and I was like, ah.
Holy cow! Phil's got the short list?
Yeah, I'm looking through this. I'm like, wait, I need to add some stuff to that, don't I?
Oh, you need to add some stuff. Joel, you go first.
So where do we want to start? Do we want to start with the stuff that I've been
Feature
reviewing?
games, we'll save that for the end.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to start with? No, I mean like 3 of these games that I've put on this list. 3 things I've reviewed. Do we want to start with the bad or do we want to start with the good?
Start wherever you want, Joel.
Let's start with the bad. Let's get this out of the way because Mugen Souls Z is
I believe it's pronounced Dragon Ball Z.
No, this is
Channeling my
This
inner
is like
Phil
this is on the other side of anime, which is the gross side that you want to see scorched off the face of the earth.
Oh, are you talking about our waifus?
It's sort of lolly waifus, where all the characters
Okay,
look
on.
kind of too young.
Kind of John Benet Ramsey?
Hmm?
Kind of John Benet Ramsey, huh? With their looks. That's so bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was given this to review. I requested it without any knowledge of what it is or anything like that. And then it came, and I opened the envelope, and I went, "Oh no, oh no," because the cover is basically here's this very young-looking anime girl on the front with giant rosy breasts. So I kind of looked at my housemate and I went, "Oh no, I can't play this in front of you guys." Which then I proceeded to play it in front of them, and it was just the most embarrassing experience I've ever had. So the game's just a turn-based JRPG sort of deal with,
What's wrong with that?
nothing. So there's nothing wrong with that because last time I was on this show, I spoke about Bravely Default for about 40 minutes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's right. And poor Colin.
So it's a mixture of like JRPG with I can't with like a Pokemon aspect where you got to capture enemies and turn them into your peons or something like that because you're all gods, so just go do godly things, which means conquer the universe. So it's like, oh, here's this basic anime setup, let's go through with that. But then everything is so irritating about it. Like all the characters are so one-dimensional and shit. Like here's the geeky guy who's going to get a nosebleed at breasts, and here's the obnoxious character, and here's the ditzy character, and here's this and that, and it's like, oh god, please stop. And then it doesn't stop because so I let a cutscene run for while I went to make because I was like, no, I'm not having any of this. So I made my dinner. I ate my dinner. I took a shit. I came back from taking the shit, and the cutscene was still going. It's that type of experience where it's like they just keep talking and they talk and they talk, and then the game itself is not any good. It's on PS3 and it runs like shit constantly. It just runs like it's running at less than 20 frames per second at some point, and there's not even that much going on the screen. It's just so much shit, or it's like a big turd in a disc, big anime turd in a disc. But the actual game itself is really boring. It's like the bad JRPGs where it's just you're doing like it like introduces like at the start like in the tutorials you're doing like 999 damage constantly. It's like, oh, this is amazing, this is so fun. And the big thing is that you can start to raise the damage up to in the billions, but that doesn't come in till about 20 plus hours in, and you're there like this. This is so dull. This is so boring. I don't want to play this anymore. So I reviewed it only 20 hours in, and I was just like, it's done. But there's also like, but it makes everything so boring. Where like they introduce like at the start, there's your castle that the hub world can turn into a giant robot that does space battles, and it's great, and it should be fun because it's giant space battles in anime space. It's amazing.
Is it related to Disgaea at all?
I think it's by the same guys who do Disgaea.
Okay.
NIS?
Yeah.
NIS?
Yeah, NIS. The people bringing us Cardcaptor Sakura again, finally on Blu-ray with a new dub.
I've not watched that.
I want a new dub. When it won't make me sick.
Well, if the dub's anything like in Mugen Souls, then I don't want to watch it because this was just like, hey, my name's this, and I'm like, oh, fuck off, please. No, so these giant space battles are basically just rock, paper, scissors. It makes space battles boring. I don't know how it did it, but it was just like, they're going to defend, so I'm going to do the pierce attack. I'm just going to constantly do the pierce attack and then defend at some point because the game's...
Did you say piss attack?
It might as well be. I would love it if the giant robot shot a wad of piss at the enemy ships and did short circuit it. That'd be amazing. That'd be my type of game. But this, it's just, it's just so dull that I don't want to talk about. I'm gonna plug my shit every time that there's a game comes up that I've reviewed. I'm gonna plug it, Harold. So get ready for this. So if you go to nerdable.co.uk, you can see my 1-star review of 1.5-star review of Mugen Souls Z, where a guy in the comments nicknamed himself Lolly and then started trying to make his case for the slightly paedophilic nature of that side of anime. So do you want? And then I also reviewed Wolfenstein: The New Order.
How is that? It's one of those first-person shooters I actually care about.
Yeah, so it's really fun.
I saw Greg Blaney from Irrational Passions streaming that the other day.
Yeah, it's worth screaming about. Like, it's like this big dumb. It could just be this big dumb shooter, which it is at times. You are shooting giant Nazi robots and mowing down other Nazis whilst
Oh
dual
man.
wielding two shotguns. You can dual wield anything in the game, which is amazing. Like even the sniper rifles, you can dual wield. Um, and then once the sniper ammo's out of once you're out of sniper ammo, you press on the keyboard. It's C, so you change it to C, and they become laser rifles. It's amazing. It's that type of dumb. It's so good. Um, but then it's also this weirdly human and emotional game at the same time, without drowning you in it. It's not ham-fisted. It's
Hmm.
kind of like the main character Blazkowicz, BJ Blazkowicz, who's been like the protagonist for all the Wolfenstein games of ever. Um, he does these internal monologues, and they're really cheesy. They're really ham-fisted, but at the same time, you're in this 1960s alternate future, like alternate
Where the
past
Nazis
future
won.
thing. Yeah, the Nazis won. The game starts in 1946, so it's that sort of deal. And you're not, and it's just like you're in this world, and you're just witnessing like, oh, actually everyone's miserable, even though everything's kind of dumb and explosive because everyone's so under this regime, and it never like in particular, there's a character called Max Haas or Max Heiss, um, who's if you watch Game of Thrones, he's the I don't watch Game of Thrones, but basically I was playing it and someone said he's like Hodor from Game of Thrones.
So pretty much he's all like, that's all he says is his name? Because
It
that's
just says
great.
it just says Max Haas.
Pat just sent me a tweet. Yeah, Wolfenstein is pretty damn good.
Yeah,
I
Pat.
just
Yeah,
bought some black loafers from Kicks, and I'm wondering if that's redundant. Anyways, back to
um,
Wolfenstein.
yeah. So like in particular, there's this character called Max Haas, and he's they never go into his backstory fully, except that another character found him hiding out somewhere. But he's got when you're introduced to him, it doesn't make like if it was if it was like a normal like a Call of Duty sort of thing where it's like, whoa, shock! Look at this. He's got half a head because he's been he's had basically half his brain cut out. It looks like.
Oh, a
So
lobotomy?
yeah, lobotomy. So he's mentally disabled. That's why he only says his name, and but he understands everything. But he's childlike in nature and stuff like that. But they
That's
never
distressing.
It's distressing, but it's more distressing because you're left on your own to figure out how you feel about it. There's a lot of things in the game where you're left to feel. They don't like they don't make a big deal over it. Like on Polygon they had an article. The clock that's only tells the time right twice a day. Ben Katura, um, he wrote about the sex scene in the game, or the two sex scenes in the game, and it's not like, whoa, look,
Are there
tits.
two, or are there more than that? Because this is the guy who can't get the number of tracks in Mario Kart 8 right.
No, there's two. I counted because
Okay,
I
two.
was like, does this? Because if Katura brings
Are they?
something up,
Oh,
I will
okay.
go and fact check it. Um,
No problem. I'm just saying, it's like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Let's leave the Katura thing to the side because I will go on a rant and then that's it. Um, So no, it's just like the game's never using shock tactics or like, whoa, look at this. It's just like the only times it'll go, whoa, look at this is the giant fucking robots and stuff like that. There's even a scene where you go to a concentration camp and it's like done in like this really subtle horrific way. Um, you know, it's grim and stuff like that, and you're like seeing dead bodies everywhere and stuff like that. But it's never. It's like the complete opposite of the gameplay, which is, whoa, blow everything up, everyone's dying, there's blood everywhere, whoa, and it's like, and it oddly works. It just it's this weird thing where it's like two separate entities have come together that shouldn't work at all. It should be jarring, but they've like formed together like that. If you've not
Come
watched the
It's
together.
like I will form the head.
Now.
So
so
it's kind of like it forms like Voltron.
yeah, like Voltron, it's like it shouldn't work, but it kind of does.
So it's kind of, I guess you could say that aside from giant fucking robots, which is awesome,
Yeah,
and the fact that you're fighting like eventually space Nazis, which is pretty awesome too, because space Nazis must die.
yeah,
And
the trailer spoils that
but
bit.
oh, sorry. Yeah, you
No,
go to the moon.
yeah, you go to the moon. No, the trailer says that you go to the moon. So
Okay, yeah, but no. So you're saying that it handles a lot of the more disturbing aspects of its premise in a mature and insightful way,
yeah,
leaving it to up to the imagination of the player to figure these things out on themselves. So it's much more disturbing and effective in that way, which
like
is excellent.
yeah, it's weird to say in a Wolfenstein game. The best time I had in it was standing around listening to other characters talk. Like I should be moving around, I should be shooting things, I should be doing things. But no, I was like, no, I want to hear these two characters um, uh, discuss what happened, you know, uh, a particular moment and stuff like that. But you know, it's real. Also, it looks fantastic. Um, you know, you do go to a castle at some point. It's great. Also, the main villain is really really scary to look at. Like he is disfigured in the wrong ways. Um,
Oh, Joel, Pat says
yeah,
nice jammies.
yeah. I like these jammies. I was telling Harold I go to the shops in these jammies.
Jammy.
So yeah, I reviewed Wolfenstein. The only issues I have with Wolfenstein are the last boss is garbage. I'm not spoiling who it is or anything like that, but you fight a
It's
big.
Nintendogs!
Yeah, it's a giant dog. He comes out and he reveals he was Hitler all along. No, you do fight a big robot in the vein of Robo Hitler from the original Wolfenstein 3D. But like it's just a shit first person boss where it's like you, you shoot two blimps and then throw a grenade and that's it. But you've got to do it while avoid being shot because you can't hurt him. And then also now you have to shoot him. And it's like this is bad. Like compared to the rest of the game, it's like some of the bosses were just like all the bosses are basically just shoot them really quickly and make sure you don't die because there's no regenerating health to an extent. There's like classic like you've got 100 health and you can upgrade it to 200 I think or something like that if you collect all these collectible things and like you're overcharged so you've got 230 health now and you can take more damage, armor and stuff like that.
Yeah, I saw the Penny Arcade comic about the armor.
Yeah, you pick up literally anything off the floor and it suddenly becomes armor and it's like you can just imagine him balancing like 16 hats on his head and stuff like that and
Oh
he,
man,
he
I just had
pick-
this. He's just going through a Starbucks or a Walmart and pasting stuff on himself.
Yeah, it's basically that. You're all yeah, like Harold's doing now. He's got his big fur hat on. Um, but yeah, Wolfenstein's really rad. I gave that 4 stars, but our thing on the site equated it to 4.2. I don't know why.
Mhm.
It was just a really, you know, it's a big dumb shooter with this really weirdly human thing inside it, and it's like I want more of that instead of the big dumb thing sometimes.
Yeah, and
So yeah,
it's actually not going for shocking. It's not going for shock value for the sake of shock value. There's no Russians type moments
yeah,
in that
yeah.
game.
It's like just you know you absorb the world as you would in real life. Like it's weird to say that it's the most realistic depiction of the world. If you were if you're in that situation, it is the most realistic depiction of what it could be, even though it's got giant fucking robots in it.
Hmm. Well, speaking of realistic depictions, how is Saboteur?
The Saboteur is I so I s- down so I the EA are having an Origin sale at the moment where you can pick up a bunch of games for super cheap on PC. So I picked up that
So
with
EA's
four of the
trying to be
games.
Steam.
Yeah, the tagline's even the tagline's a big jab at Steam where it's you'll you'll actually play these,
Ah,
something like that. So
nice.
I picked up that Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3, and Kingdoms of Amalur because I'd never played Kingdoms of Amalur and I'd never played the Saboteur. So Saboteur
I
is
got
kind of
Kingdoms of Amalur as a PlayStation Plus game. I've never played it.
yeah. I doubt I'll ever actually get round to it. It'll be one of those. I should play that, but it was £3, so I wasn't gonna press no.
Three
Um,
pounds. I just lost 20.
uh, um, no, so the Saboteur is Pandemic's last game. The guys who made Mercenary before they got the shutters because the Saboteur didn't sell a billion copies like EA wanted it to. Um, and I can kind of see why it wasn't so hot, maybe back in 2009, especially playing the PC version, which is inadequate to say the least. Because so it comes up with the usual PC thing, like choose your options. So I chose it in 1080p, all the fancy stuff on high and everything like that. Um, Went to press play and it crashed on launch. I was like, 2009 PC ports before they gave a shit. Um, so I fiddling around with that, but I actually got to play it. I played it for about 2 hours or so. I'm currently in a flashback sort of situation.
2009. That was the first year of cross-border gaming. Put things in perspective.
Oh man, that's a while. That was a year before I started writing at That Game Hub.
That was
Probably
the
a
day
year
when
before there
innocence
was a Net
died.
Gamer Hub.
Yeah.
So I've been playing it for about 2 hours or so. It's not very good, I don't think. I can't take it seriously in the slightest. Um, so for those that don't know, it's set in I'm on like a Nazi-themed sort of thing here. It's set in Nazi-occupied Paris during the war, and you play as an Irishman called Sean. No, yeah, he's called Sean. Um,
He's a race car driver slash
yeah,
spy.
yeah, something like that. And I d- it it's weird to say that it's not aged well, seeing as it only came out what 5 years ago, nearly 5 years ago. But it hasn't aged well in the slightest. It does a lot of weird things with its shooting mechanics, where it's very automatic. Um, Like he reloads automatically, he gets into cover automatically. It's like, no, I didn't want to do that. Oh, what are you doing? No, please stop. The climbing is like someone played Assassin's Creed 2 for maybe no Assassin's Creed 1 for maybe a couple hours and went, we can do that, and they can't because unless it's like very obvious very obvious to the game where you should be going, it is garbage. So like climbing on random buildings and stuff like that is shit. He sticks and he doesn't move with the control stick. You got to keep pressing A to make him clamber up. They don't really call it climbing; they call it clambering, which is kind of a very nice term for it because that's what he does. Um,
Sorry to interrupt, but Pat says we need to take some time to play Kingdoms of Amalur. It had some issues, but it's good. And I asked him, still waiting for a response, but I asked him, is it anything like Skyrim? And we all know how I felt about Skyrim.
so I played. No, to answer Pat, I did play the demo when it came out on 360. What was that? 2 years ago? No, 3 years ago now. 2011, I think it came out, or 2012. When did they have to shut down because of their big money
What
issue?
was that? Having some issues? Oh, it happened to that earlier? You just have to, I guess that just turn it off, turn it back on.
Um,
Oh,
when did they have to when did the Kingdoms of Amalur guys have to shut
Was that
down
last
because
year or
of
was
the
that
big
year
money?
before?
Was it
I have
2012?
no
I want to say
idea.
2012.
I've never
Um,
touched Kingdoms of Amalur. The
because
name just sounds like something you step in.
well,
Oh, I
yeah.
stepped in some Amalur.
Just stepped in on Malore. There we go.
No, so I played the demo a while back. So from what I remember, it's more combat orientated than it actually.
Oh, got a response from Pat. He said, "Of course, it's an open world RPG. That's what makes it great." Pass.
Jesus. Um,
Volume down.
no, it's kind of is not like Skyrim in that okay, it's like Skyrim, but it's not. Let's say that. There's a lot more combo stuff to do in it. You're pressing X constantly and stuff. It's more action orientated, is what I remember. It plays better. No, but so going back to Saboteur, the Saboteur, I don't know. I will continue to play it. My opinion could change, but I can't take anything seriously when everyone is got the most stereotypical accents going on in it, like the French people. Just okay, they sound French, but they sound a bit too French, like Americans putting on French accents, maybe. Um, I do like how it goes black and white when you're in Nazi-occupied territory, though. That is really cool. Like everything shines red and it looks really cool, and then you kind of wish the whole game was like that instead of color, because when it goes into color, you can kind of see how shit it looks. Especially seeing as I can't play in 1080p, which is a ball ache. It defaults to 800 by 600, which is like, oh, okay. So yeah, and then I also played to finish me off. I also played Transistor, Supergiant Games new game.
Yeah.
Um,
I still need to play Bastion.
you still need to play You should play Bastion. I will send you copies of Bastion. I have that many falling out my pockets from all those Humble bundles.
Oh, I got one from a Humble Bundle. I think I might have it on 360 as well.
Yeah, you need to play. Bastion is maybe one of my all-time favorite games.
I will have to try Bastion. You know what? I may try it tomorrow.
I would say Bastion is almost a perfect game. Almost.
I don't know. Bastion just makes me think of the Never-Ending Story. Bastion,
Yes.
say my name.
No, you kinky bitch.
And then he yells, Artax! And he's like, no, that's the horse, damn it.
Transistor looks... So, Bastion is one of my all-time favorite games, so I was really looking forward to Transistor.
Is it anything like Bastion?
It looks like Bastion, kind of. It's got the same art style, like that watercolor paint-looking thing that they do. And it's also from the isometric perspective. You could, in theory, play it like Bastion if you wanted, but you'll get your ass handed to you very quickly. So the game starts and doesn't tell you anything. You're put into a combat situation and it tells you nothing. You press as soon as you press start to jump into the game. That's it. You're in the game. You go.
You're in the game.
Yeah. So the story is like Bastion, where it unravels itself as you go along. It's only about 5 hours long, so it's I played it in one sitting. But it's incredibly beautiful. Like the graphics, it looks gorgeous, and the music's fantastic, and everything's fantastic about it. Except I don't want to ever play it ever again. Like so the combat. So before I get into that, the combat is kind of like a strategy game, like a strategy RPG sort of thing.
I like strategy RPGs.
So you're given, it's like it goes from real time. So you press the right trigger and it'll go into this planning mode, where you can queue up attacks on enemies and then unleash the attacks quicker than the enemies can react. So you know you do damage, and then you've got to run away to go plan your attack while it recharges. But that's a big issue with the combat, is that you have, unless you upgrade in the right way, or so. Also, the combat is all dictated by these. But it's usual sort of situation. So it's dictated by upgrades and stuff like that. But you're also given a selection of what attacks you want to put in. You can combine them in any way you want. So like either standard.
Any way you want it. That's the way I need it.
So like you can. So the standard attack is like this crash move, which is just basically standard hit. But
into me.
You're like a karaoke jukebox. It's amazing.
Jukebox hero.
So like by the end of the game, like I was upgrading the crash attack with like extra damage and also extra backstab damage and stuff like that. So it's that sort of deal. But the problem with the combat is that other than it not telling you what to do at the start, but you kind of learn it as you go along. Because it definitely doesn't teach you. You have to learn it yourself. It's like, do your own study here. So you press the trigger and it goes into this plan attack, and then once you come out the plan attack, you're left with no attacks and nothing. You can't do anything, basically. So basically all you can do is run, and the main character, Red, is constantly carrying around this big blue sword, which I think that's called the Transistor. I'm not sure. I wasn't paying too much attention to what the story was telling me at the end because it was just whittling on. But she's constantly, but she doesn't pick it up like Cloud. It's like this giant fucking sword,
Yeah.
so it's like huge. So like Cloud from Final Fantasy carries the big fucking sword on his shoulder or something like that, and then runs because that's a sensible thing to do. Instead, Red just drags it along the ground. And she's got some proper weight to her, like, because she's dragging it. So it looks cool when you're running around, like, non-hostile areas, because it leaves this, like, little fire trail on the floor, scraping trail across the floor and stuff like that. But in combat, it gets a bit of an issue because she's so slow in comparison to the enemies that unless you're behind cover or something like that, you're going to die really quickly.
So is it kind of like with Monster Hunter where you need to make sure you set up when you're swinging your attacks? Okay, so because like with that one there's times where I'm so glad they added the ability to cancel out of attacks in Monster Hunter 4, but you'll be like swinging through something and you're not done with your animation frame yet, and
it's not like that. It's like that in a way, but not. So like Monster Hunter is all in real time, so you kind of wish you could pause it to make your attacks. So when you pause it and then you attack, Red is much quicker, and she dishes out all the attacks before anyone can react. That's like the gimmick. So what I figured out was do my attacks and leave enough of like the meter at the top, so that I can run away to behind cover or something like that before the enemy turns around. But sometimes you just run out of this meter at the top, and you kind of left in a situation where, oh shit, now I'm screwed. So instead of killing you automatically and going, oh, it's game over, it kind of does similar thing to Bastion, where it will give you a second chance and stuff like that. So you've either got an emergency turn, where you can dish out attacks, before you die and recover and stuff like that, or it'll eliminate a move from your repertoire, so you can't use that move until you pass 2 access stations, which are like the upgrade stations, to have it repaired. I didn't like that because I would prefer a game over and just redo the combat scenario, because like the last boss is kind of a jerk, and you're just kind of left with 1 attack and it's completely useless, so you've got no attacks left. So you're just kind of wandering around until you die.
This, of the 3 games you reviewed, this was the one you liked the most?
No, I didn't review Transistor.
You just reviewed the first 2?
I reviewed the first 2 of Mario Kart, but we were saving Mario Kart.
Oh.
Speaking of which, there's a lot of Mario Kart going around in the background there.
Oh, sorry about that.
And since Phil seems to be busy, I'll go ahead.
No, I'm not busy. I was just doing Animal Crossing. I am Mario Kart. Sarah's playing Mario Kart. But yeah, let's see. I think you have actually a longer list than me. But
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Mine's pretty.
Yes, but I can probably go through it quicker.
Well,
go ahead,
I've only got a few things to say on some of these. Okay. First things first. With Animal Crossing, I was having some trouble a couple weeks back where
my digital last time you were on the show, you mentioned.
Yeah. And it was awful. And you know how Nintendo, if you go to their website, it says you can't back up your save if it's digital on Animal Crossing. There's no option for it, etc., etc. There is an option for it. I was looking at this and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try this, see if it works. I went to the little thing where you can delete it. It goes, delete and make a backup of your save. I was like, well, okay, I guess I'll try that. It says I can't do it. You can totally do it. I'm still going to restart my town on this eventually because like I did so much time leaping that my town in here is in like 2016 already. So I'm just gonna end up restarting it, but apparently
town of the future.
Apparently you can back up your save and then delete it from your system, then re-download it, and that fixed everything. I just wish Nintendo would actually tell us the truth about what we can do. They're like, oh, no, you can't do that at all. You can't back up your save. No, yes, you can. And the worst part is,
Nintendo are so backwards. Like, I guess when we come to talk about Mario Kart, like Nintendo Love will come out, but everything to do with Animal Crossing, like, is so backwards. With like, it's so Nintendo. Like, it's so. Just tell us, like, just do what everyone else is doing. Stop doing your thing for once.
Well, actually, I like their thing. Just I kind of wish that they had told me that I could in fact back up my save because they make it sound like you can't.
It's like every other game would give you an option to back up your save, on any other console.
Oh, yeah. Even on this one, every other game except for Animal Crossing has that thing where it says you can back up your save. But Animal Crossing, it doesn't display it, and I don't know if maybe it was just foresight on there. Like, they forgot to add that you can do that, but you can do it. So I was kind of happy that I was able to finally fix all that. The other thing I've been playing is I went back into Steel Diver because they did a 2.0 update. The 2.0 update adds a bunch of new subs. It adds some new arenas.
Are those subs cold or toasted?
Star Fox flavored. Like they added in, the blue marine from Star Fox 64. You can drive around in that now, and pretty much everybody does. The only thing they added that people are a little upset about is if you're playing the free game and you haven't updated to the actual game, you have to spend play coins to play online.
No.
Play coins. I was like, that's so funny. It's like, I kind of wish that they'd do that with other stuff because, well, I've got maximum play coins already, like 300 play coins on all my systems. I'm like, I'm not spending them on anything. It's kind of neat that they're trying to do that, but honestly, with all the extra stuff, they improved up matchmaking. Steel Divers Sub Wars is Nintendo showing that they're actually able to do a first-person shooter with online capabilities correctly. There hasn't been any dropouts. I can get into games with, mostly I play against people from NeoGAF, but I can find people, and even though you can only communicate in Morse code, which is hilarious.
NeoGAF, as I like to call it, under the bridge, because that's where all the trolls hang out.
We all come through the dark side. We hang out with Jeff Keighley and people. No, it's fun. No, they did. Oh yes. That one's pretty fun. I played a couple rounds of that today. The new subs are excellent, and I'm also been playing Mega Man Extreme too. Oh yes.
How does the online mode? You said that it works pretty well.
It's kind of it's actually. It basically it's 4 versus 4 in your red team and blue team. Now though they added this thing where if you shoot your own teammates, they penalize you points, which they didn't before. Now they do.
So so there's no lag or anything like that unless
Oh, there's no lag. Considering it's a weird sub game where the subs moves depending on which subs you have, they move kind of slow. Although the Blue Submarine is pretty quick. The Blue Submarine, much quicker than some of those. Although now you can select like the last
submarine.
Yes, because the submarines have they move with momentum. You'll have these weird battles where you'll run past somebody and you're shooting at them, and then just do in the end near the end of the Matrix where Agent Smith and Neo are shooting each other and missing each other and moving around. That stuff happens all the time.
Oh, that sounds
it's kind of great.
I have to check this out. It's just the play stuff is.
It's two play coins per match.
Yeah.
Per match, that's a little pricey.
So there's a premium option, is there?
Oh yeah, that's the single player is completely free. The local multiplayer is completely free. But if you want to play online, because all the online stuff is ranked, there's a 2-coin link. Otherwise, if you upgrade, instead of having just the 2 levels, when you upgrade if you upgrade to the paid version, you get 9 levels. You get about 20 plus different subs, including a bunch that are free right now.
How about a BMT? Do you get a BMT?
If that's an accurate German U-boat, yes. Oh, the subs are historical too, for the most part.
Yeah,
there's a bunch of historical ones, which is kind of nice.
So it sounds like they're doing at the start. I thought they were just doing it. Nintendo pulled a gross free-to-play thing where it's you've got to get these imaginary coins to play our imaginary submarine game.
You pay them $14, you never have to pay them again, unless you want the DLC.
That's all free-to-play should follow that model.
Yeah, it's like Nintendo doesn't know what free-to-play is supposed to be.
Don't ever tell them. Don't ever tell them. The last thing you want them to do is be like King.
Look, I would prefer if King did that. I want all free-to-play games to have a premium option where it's yeah, okay, I will pay $30 for your dumb game. Why not? Because if I don't ever have to pay any money to you after this $30, except if it's an optional thing and not a required thing, I'm fine with that.
I do find it funny though that they're requiring physical effort for people to play coins. You walk 200 steps, you get 2 play coins. So.
Yeah, I don't think my 3DS has ever moved outside of the house.
Oh,
I will walk around with the 3DS, but it's either open or it's sat on the table and never moved.
I reset the date so I can get more than.
Oh, you guys are part of that crazy Nintendo coin cabal thing. Oh no.
Oh, I do love. If it were up to me, when they were talking at the Apple thing yesterday with the Nike stuff, I think it'd be great if somebody say Zynga or PopCap was hey, the Nike pedometer? Why don't we connect our games to this? So instead of paying $1.50 to play this level of Plants vs. Zombies 2 for a little while or earn coins for it, why not walk 200 steps?
That would be great. Walk 500 miles.
Yeah, but let's not give the devil's ideas here.
Oh, man.
I'm all right with paying for their imaginary, their imaginary Candy Crushes and stuff like that, but
you don't want to get off your ass.
I don't want to have to spend 30, how much money they magically pull out of their ass to dictate how much these things would, these things might be. I don't want to go up. To play your game.
You don't want to be oh man, I want to play online a little bit. Better run.
I just want to lie here and throw money at them and say go.
Okay.
Just go.
Oh yeah.
Get back on track here. Mega Man Extreme 2.
It's pretty good. It's a port of essentially a specialized thing with Mega Man Extreme. Sorry, with Mega Man X2 and Mega Man X3 with some of the bosses. It's pretty good. Pretty good Game Boy Color game. Grinsia, they put out a patch to fix that thing so you could go into that town.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that last week.
Yeah. And now it occasionally randomly crashes after certain battles. So they still have some stuff to fix on it, but that's okay.
Yeah, as I said, I downloaded it. I still haven't had a chance to play it yet.
It's got a pretty good battle. It's pretty good. It's a light RPG. Pokemon Battle Trosei, or however you pronounce it. Been pretty good with that. I still don't really understand what I'm doing with that. I'm just matching 4 and making Singing Avalanche stuff. But I'm doing good in it, so I have no idea.
Yeah.
Anyways, the other thing is Push Mode and Crash Mode. I've been playing through those a little bit more in anticipation of Push Mode World.
Yeah.
Which apparently, and then the last thing here, I was looking through the Vita stuff for free games in the PlayStation Mobile section. I saw this one called Don't Die Dateless Dummy.
I played it on Xbox Live Indie Games.
It is, okay, one, it's fucking terrible, but it's fucking terrible because of the way it's written. I had just recently finished reading My Twisted World by Elliot Rodger. You know, the guy who put up a bunch of YouTube junk and then went out on a really pathetic shooting spree where he shot 3 people, stabbed 3 other people, shot himself. And everyone's like, oh no, it's the video games, because he talked about World of Warcraft for pages. Oh, and Pokemon and all this other junk, but dude was on Xanax. Xanax does that to people.
Yeah.
But anyways,
I just hope they don't try to blame it on Asperger's.
They were trying to on this one thing. It's like, no, that's not it.
And what's his face in Connecticut? I mean, I know his name.
Adam Lanza? Oh, sorry.
Asshole. His name is Asshole.
Anyways, I read through his stupid little 141-page manifesto thing, right? And then going into Don't Die Dateless Dummy, the dialogue in that game, it predates this whole thing with Elliot Rodger by years, but it's the same type of dialogue. It's the same kind of attitude. And I was like, this is gross.
Yeah, no.
It's really gross.
Yeah. And if you say the wrong thing, you're a wizard.
You're a wizard, Harry. Oh, man. I've actually been listening through the audiobooks of those because, like, when I'm typing, I can listen to audiobooks. So right now I'm almost done with Chamber of Secrets because I was like, oh, why not? And, man, those books are they're still good.
Just a fact check from the last time you were on. You referred to the narrator of the Harry Potter books as a British person. I believe his name is like Jim Dale.
No, this one is definitely a British person. Because I don't have the English audiobooks. I went to Pirate Bay and I was like, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone? Yes. None of this sorcerer's BS.
Well, so you're saying so this is not the official?
No, this is the official one, but not the American one.
Yeah. Well, it's a British narrator on the American ones too.
Are you sure? What was his name? Let me check.
Jim Dale, I believe.
Harry Potter.
I didn't listen to it myself. My cousin Sammy. She had me. She got them from the library and had me put them on her iPod.
Awesome, because those are pretty awesome. Wait, it's Wait, where is this one?
Okay, so Don't Die Dateless Dummy, you didn't like it.
I thought it was kind of horrible, and it kind of perpetuates this horrible attitude that some of these people have where they put way too much emphasis
too much pressure on first impressions and stuff.
Oh, yeah, and it was just not, yeah. Let's be honest. First things first, you gotta love yourself before you can love others, you know? Yeah. And this Elliot Rodger guy didn't love himself, and that's the problem.
Some asshole.
But he's all like, oh, I'm magnificent. Yeah, some asshole. That guy.
Yeah.
Although, to be honest, the worst part about that, though, was the people who were posting, okay, on my Facebook, there are these people who were like, 71 out of these horrible atrocities in the last 30 years, 70 of those 71 were done by men. The problem is men. And I'm like, don't.
Job.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Okay. I was going to say, my response to it was to go through, I found this thing called Murderpedia, and it lists like...
Let's move on!
Okay, moving on.
Okay, why don't I just run through the old stuff first before I get to the new stuff?
Okay, yes.
Record Run. Still playing that.
Did that turn out any good?
What?
Did that turn out any good, Record Run?
Oh, I like it.
Because I
that same part of my brain as Rockman Blitz.
Because I followed up on what's he called on Twitter, Super Annotation, whatever he's called. The guy who digs up stuff. Like a week before it was announced. No, like a couple days before it was announced. I found all the Facebook pages and stuff like that unfinished, and I was like, oh, I'll report on this. And then Harmonix got back to me, and they were like, yeah, we'll have something to announce with a winky face. And I was like, all right. And then I never followed up on like what it was or anything like that.
Maybe you should tell them you're a friend of mine, or maybe you shouldn't tell them you're a friend of mine.
Yeah, you crazy person. So is that any good?
Hey, I mean they know me at Harmonix.
So it's Stephen Fry reading for the listeners in the UK and Jim Dale voicing the series for the American versions.
Well, luckily you went with the American version.
The British version got Stephen Fry?
Yeah. The British version has Stephen Fry. That's why I'm going back through it, because I'm like...
Am I going to air this on this show that I don't like Stephen Fry?
Oh.
More of a Hugh Laurie fan?
Not to do with that, I just think Stephen Fry is bigged up in the wrong way.
Right. Okay, that's...
what else have you been playing, Harold?
Record Run, Picross E4, which I beat.
Oh, Picross E5 comes out this week in Japan.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Which means probably what? September for us? What's the turnaround?
No, we might get it in July or August. Hopefully, who knows? Their turnaround's
what is the turnaround on those things?
Well, E4 came out apparently in December in Japan. I didn't know about that.
Came out in May, so...
Weird. 5 months for that? That doesn't seem right.
So, November.
Oh, well. But it's still coming.
Much to translate, so it should be pretty quick.
Okay, let's see, I got back into Conception 2. I'm on Chapter 7 now.
How are your babies?
Well, I just had to get rid of a bunch of them because I was running out of room.
Oh, that's awful.
I might have to play this game. It sounds so weird.
It is. So there's a demo available on the eShop on 3DS as well as PSN on Vita.
I think I might play it on Vita. I need something to play on that thing.
Okay. Let's see. Let me go into the new stuff. Let's see. Ultra Street Fighter 4.
Ultra.
It's Street Fighter 4 with more characters. And
So are you not the Street Fighter expert that I can ask? How is the new characters compared to everything else? How are the small incremental fixes to that game that none of us will ever notice, but someone somewhere has? He's very angry over them.
That's the kind of question you ask Frank.
Alright,
I suck. I'm a button masher.
Oh, it's so awful. No, I'm just kidding.
But speaking of fighting games, Injustice: Gods Among Us on Vita. I had gotten that on sale I think that was a sale on PSN a while back, and I finally just got around to playing it. I also have the physical version of the PS3 version, which I got on sale, and I haven't had a chance to play that yet. But Injustice. The story mode is really good on Injustice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's from the same folks who brought you Mortal Kombat.
I really like Mortal Kombat story mode, as bizarre as it was.
Yeah, and Injustice is the same kind of thing, only with DC characters.
I watched the story through because I was never going to buy it because at the time I just couldn't buy it, but it seemed like a really cool DC alternate universe story sort of deal.
Yeah, I got a few chapters in. I think I had gotten to the start of the Green Arrow chapter.
Also, the comics they've been putting out, that they were putting out alongside before the release, and I think they're still putting them out actually, are really good as well.
The main story is that part of the Justice League, as well as the Joker, wind up in this alternate dimension where the Joker blew up Metropolis, and Superman snapped and killed him, and then started this unified government where he became this awful dictator.
Yeah.
And Batman is leading the resistance.
Yeah, so it's like...
So it's the sequel to Superman Returns. Like, that last one, Man of Steel. What was it? The one where he actually does kill somebody? Which never crossed that with Superman.
Don't talk about Man of Steel.
Okay, so
I get a headache.
Injustice. No heroes allowed. No puzzles either. Phil, you probably remember Holy Invasion of Privacy Batman. What did I do to deserve this?
I never updated the PSP one so I could keep that name. So somewhere on a memory card I have it with that name, which is good.
Yeah,
yes,
this is the same series. No heroes allowed. This is a free to play. It's a match 3 puzzler, but it's in that kind of world.
That's so weird. Match 3 puzzlers.
Yeah. But I found it very fun to play. I mean, there's a collecting aspect. There's an animal evolution, a monster evolution aspect.
What are the free-to-play aspects of it?
Well, you can unlock space for more captured heroes. You can unlock more their in-game currency, and there's thing that you can only play like 3 puzzles at a time, and you have to wait for it to recharge. You can buy more or buy infinite, which is what I did.
Yeah, infinite. How much was the infinite stuff?
About $8, I believe.
That's all right.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad.
But yeah, and moving on to well, if I would have known that I was going to Toys R Us on Friday, I would have just pre-ordered Mario Kart in store because they had a deal. You buy Mario Kart, get a second game 40% off. So I got Mario Kart and Rayman Legends. Rayman Legends is here. I haven't played it yet. Mario Kart, I'll talk about it in a little bit, but they had a whole bunch of stuff 70% off, so I picked up Funky Barn, which I didn't get a chance to play. And I got Wonder Book.
Oh, that's
Here's
what
my
that
Wonder
is.
Book, and here's my DLD 0.
Oh. What? What? Why?
So, yeah, it came down.
You've become a wizard.
$5.
You've become a wizard.
I am over 30.
Oh
no.
So why did you do this?
Well, it's the Wonder Book. It was the Move controller and PlayStation Eye, which I didn't have. It was $18.
Oh, that is such a good deal.
Oh,
yeah. Now I gotta
start
stocking these up for Johann Sebastian Joust.
Oh, that's the reason to own those, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
1 down, 6 to go.
Because Sony themselves aren't using it anymore, so you might as well.
I know, right? It's like everyone is abandoned. Everyone's abandoned motion control this year. This time.
As they should have done after the first couple of years of the Wii.
Oh yeah, and the Wii, everyone just kind of abandoned that after a while, even though it is the best-selling console of all time for some reason.
There's a very good reason because Grandma can play. That is pretty much the reason. But then everyone.
I know. It just makes me mad that the Wii U is so much better than the Wii, and not anywhere near that.
Yeah.
Well.
Nintendo.
That's an injustice.
Okay, anyway, so as I was saying about Mario Kart, I pre-ordered it from ToysRUs.com. It didn't ship until Friday.
Oh, that's so bad.
Their original estimate was that it wouldn't get here until the 11th. When it finally got into UPS's system. They said the 7th. That'd be this coming Saturday. But according to updated tracking, it looks like I should have it tomorrow.
And if you don't, hopefully. Will we see an even longer hashtag? Fuck Toys R Us and fuck UPS hashtag. Are you gonna hashtag those?
Actually, UPS, according to tracking, UPS has done their job, so I'd be blaming the Postal Service.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's mail innovation. So UPS got it to Fort Myers, and now it's the Postal Service's duty to deliver it.
So you'll be playing Mario Kart after Mario Kart 9 is announced, right?
You know what? I am going to do a stream tomorrow.
If it
tomorrow, starting at... Why don't I just do like noon Eastern? Twitch.tv/Hbomb and Friends. I'm going to stream Wii U games while I'm waiting for Mario Kart, and then when Mario Kart comes, I'll stream Mario Kart.
And then...
Mario Kart.
So if Mario Kart doesn't come, will it just be a stream of you crying for an hour?
Probably longer than that.
And just constantly swearing, and then it's just and then the last half an hour is you on the phone with Toys R Us shouting abuse at whoever's picked up the phone, the poor person.
Yeah. Well, I already had an email exchange with them. The other big update, Retron 5. Holy shit, we're an hour in and we haven't even talked about E3 yet.
Oh no.
So Retron 5.
According to Amazon, delivery estimate is Friday.
Woo!
It hasn't shipped yet. But you know, I think I'll have a stream on Friday too, of waiting for the Retron 5. Although
it'll be delivered by Rebecca Black. That's why it's taken them so long. She personally delivers all of their Retrons.
Friday, gotta get down on Friday.
So is that thing actually coming out now?
Yeah.
Because, good gracious, all I've heard about it is that it's been delayed since when? When was it meant to come out?
I pre-ordered in September.
It was meant to come out a couple months after that or something like that, and it's just been delayed and delayed and delayed. And it still doesn't play all the games that you might want to play. So I don't know.
Okay, so moving on, E3.
We're not going to talk about Mario Kart?
Oh, shit, we haven't even talked about Mario Kart. Let's talk about
awesome.
Mario Kart.
It's awesome, and Luigi is love, Luigi is life.
So also I reviewed Mario Kart. I gave it 5 out of 5. It is maybe the most perfect Mario Kart game to date. It is wonderful to play. Everything is wonderful about it. I like the gravity. Also, there's a lot more blue shells this time around.
But you can kill those, which I've done multiple times.
You can kill them if you've got this new item, the honking horn or whatever they've called it. But I've been using that more because I would get that while I was in second place or something like that. So I would use it to knock the person out of first place and go ahead.
Also, sometimes the obstacles will kill the blue shell too.
Yeah. So it's just a hell of a lot of fun, and also fuck the online mode works.
Oh,
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
Just keep on talking.
I don't think I've had any issues with the online other than it disconnecting me from maybe 3 matches out of dozens I've played so far.
I've been playing the multiplayer online matches where it's 2 people versus the world. And that's pretty good, especially for getting extra coins to unlock stuff.
It's just like going upside down. Like when I first started playing, and it was like, now you're gonna go upside down and turn around, and then I was like, oh god, no, my brain. Oh, I think I'm gonna be sick. And then suddenly, like it's one of the first games. Like I get motion sick while traveling, but I don't get motion sick with games at all. But Mario Kart 8 was like when the first gravity situation came, I was like, oh, oh no. For those who are listening to the audio, I'm currently turning my head like, but it's just so seamless. Everything just works, and that's all you could ask for.
Have you messed around with like the highlight reel? That is the best. Oh, because all of the kart racers react to each other.
Yeah, so
have you noticed that? Yeah.
It's like everyone's constantly giving death glare. So the current thing on the internet is Luigi's death glare.
Yeah. Yes. So good.
And it is funny every single time. And you go, and I have no use for the highlight reel.
YouTube thing? Oh, I've just been uploading it to YouTube. Some of those.
Yeah, I uploaded one to YouTube, but then I realized it's going to take 10 minutes every time, and I could use that time to play more matches. So I was just like, fuck this. Also, you can't back out and let it upload in the background, I don't think.
Yeah, not yet. They might do that for another update.
They've got to get that
update it.
Because if they want to include that in more games, they have to let you do it in the background. Like, I'd rather
do that for Smash.
Oh, fuck yes. I'd rather like not be able to play it online while it's uploading a video than not be able to play it at all. Because I could do a Grand Prix while it's uploading this video. But even though it's kind of ham-fisted in there, like I swear my Wii U locked up while it was doing it for like 5 seconds. It was just like, and then it started again. And I was like, oh shit, thank fuck. But it works and it's great fun. The game is Mario Kart. There's nothing much changed other than the new additions. Like gravity stuff and all that, but.
Oh man, they made the ink thing is so horrible now.
Because you don't have the because if you're like me and I constantly play on just the pad, so I don't have the map up on the screen anymore, and it's not like the DS where both screens are constantly in your view, so you can use the map to just get around. But the maps are less detailed, so you can't really use them to navigate your way through the course anymore while you've been inked.
We have a Wii U Pro controller. Like
you've been using that?
Oh, yes. And so what I do is I just sit down on the couch, I turn on the gamepad, and I use that as my TV with this controller, which is just feels so right.
Yeah. I've not got hold of the Pro Pad yet, but
this is the TV that we're using. You can kind of see that huge thing over there.
Yeah,
it's huge. Yeah, it's not too bad.
On the Wii U pad, it looks decent enough, and also every time I do play a Wii U game, I do get excited about using just the pad to play, because every time because it's been like a couple months since I've actually used my Wii U to play anything. So it's like, oh yeah, this is great. I can play a proper game.
Well, you live with people. I don't.
I live with people, but like even when because I could easily take the Wii U upstairs and actually play upstairs on the TV upstairs. But it's great just to boot up Mario Kart while everyone's watching TV, and I'm playing Mario Kart with my headphones in, and it's because like there's a difference between like I'm playing on my Vita, I'm playing on the 3DS because I don't use sound on those, but it's like on the Wii U I want my sound, and it's just great that I can do that. Or that I forget every single time I turn on the Wii U, I go, oh, this is great. Like I can play a proper video. It sounds wrong because all video games are proper video games, but you know what I mean. Like I can play this console game
except
in the kitchen.
Possibly Don't Die Dateless, Tony.
Except for that. Like I can play Mario Kart while I'm making dinner. That's fantastic. Great. I'm not. I love it. Mario Kart's pretty good.
Hello, Pizza Hut.
Yeah. I cook. Student living, but I cook.
I've been there.
It's been pasta for the last 4 days, but
Oh, ramen noodles. I think I ate ramen noodles at one point for like 8 meals straight.
Oh man. Oh, ramen noodles are good if you take out the pack. Don't use the packaging that comes with it. Buy separate chicken bouillon, and then also add egg to it before you
Yeah.
cook it. Yeah, egg
Yeah.
on the noodles. They're excellent. Extremely
Egg
sodium
on
though.
the noodles.
Oh yes.
Fire in the sky.
And speaking of eggs and noodles, maybe we should get to E3.
Yeah.
Let's do
Okay.
E3 talk. All right, come on.
This is
What
going
we
to be a
excited
long
for?
show.
What?
Rabbit Table, what do we most want to see?
Majora's Mask 3D. That's me.
That's you.
And
I want to say the opposite of that.
mhm.
I want to see something announced for 2014.
I want
That's
to.
probably it.
I want to see a final roster for Smash Brothers.
Oh, I don't think they'll even show off the hitting characters yet. But I think
Well, when is the 3DS version supposed to come out?
August or September.
Yeah.
I've heard August 29th is what I got.
Yeah.
I think a foreign Amazon.
Yeah.
Is
Who knows? They could surprise us. And it is available in stores and on the eShop right now.
If that happens, Harold, I will 1, flip my shit. 2, after the shit has been flipped, reflip it and spend all my money on getting hold of that game as fast as possible. I will ditch all my E3 duties and go download that game, and you'll never see me ever again because I am so excited for that game. Oh my god.
I think what they're going to do is, I mean, this is my pretty, I guess you could say, boring predictions for E3. Nintendo's going to have a big thing for Smash Brothers, a big thing for another game they haven't announced, and then part of their booth is going to be about their figurines, which are. That's going to be terrifying.
I've got a feeling a lot of
their Pokemon Rumble figures.
Well, these new figurines are multiple use for multiple games, so I'm guessing, well, they haven't talked about how the 3DS and the Wii U version of Smash Brothers talk to each other. I think it's kind of like that. So you're going to see people going to these Smash Brothers competitions and whatnot with their figurine. It's like, yeah, all my save data and my custom character in this figurine. Yeah. That's going to be gross.
That is the one thing I'm kind of worried about. Nintendo digital event is that what they're calling it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a feel because I can't remember where I read it, and I think I might have just dreamt it up. But I swear someone was saying that they were gonna spend a majority of the time talking about one specific thing.
Oh, there's actually they won't be doing that for that event.
Is that not? Is it for
no, it's a different one. There's the Nintendo Digital event. And then on Wednesday, there's a roundtable, an hour for Smash, and an hour and a half for some other game that hasn't been announced yet.
Right, that's what I was thinking of. Because I've got a very bad feeling that it's going to be dedicated to these figurines, and they're going to spend a lot more time talking about the figurines than they will the game. And I want, the figurines will be super cool. Like, I was looking at Disney Infinity and going,
oh, I was telling you before the show, but yeah, I got a whole shelf full of Disney Infinity.
Yeah,
I was full of Skylanders.
I was looking at the Disney Infinity stuff going, this is going to be so cool once the Marvel stuff comes out. I'm going to buy all of these. And I'm not going to be able to afford any of them, but, you know, I want all of these. These look so cool. And if Nintendo do it, it's going to be super cool, but I don't want them to spend too much time on it. I want them to announce new stuff. I want new games, and you know, but that's just from Nintendo. But
so yeah, moving on here, the traditional press events versus Nintendo's approach.
I like Nintendo's approach because if I were there on the show this year, covering that, it would mean I get to sleep in a little bit. If all of them went to these digital events, I could just sleep in and be better prepared for the meetings that day. And also, I think it's kind of neat that, I mean, I didn't get in, I do have an extra pass just in case, where I might be able to go see the Sony one inside of a theater, but I haven't heard back yet on if That depends on if.
Wait, are you actually going?
No, I'm not actually going this year, but
Sony are hosting. You can watch the conference in cinemas.
Oh yeah, Sony's got a thing there.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah, yeah. I got a ticket for that. I got invites to parties and stuff this year, but I'm not going because I can't afford it. Because hotel and plane ticket and all that jazz. But other than that, like, yeah, I kind of like Nintendo's approach because one, they get to there's very few what you could call blue screen moments or Cammy Dunaway talking about skiing and smiles moments because everything is more controlled.
Yeah, they can talk about what they want, how they want, and present it how they want.
There's no developers. Yeah.
But then I'm on the opposite end because I do like watching the live shows, watching these video games.
Like last year at Trenton dropping the mic.
Yeah, moments like that, and there's never been a moment like that with any of the Nintendo Directs because, it's so sanitized and. Okay, it's better for business and stuff like that. Like, hey, let's not have Assassin's Creed 4 fucking break on stage. Let's not have Battlefield 4 break on stage.
Yeah.
But you also miss the energy from it. I mean,
it's the energy.
I remember when Twilight Princess came out.
I remember getting that. I remember getting that conference on a disc with a magazine here in the UK called Cubed.
I went to that conference.
And I watched the disc, and so this was 2004, so 10 years ago, I was 9.
Yeah.
I was 9 years old, or just 10 years old, or something like that. And just watching it and going, holy shit, look at that, wow! And then watching the crowd applaud.
Yes.
And then you don't get that from the Directs, or, these digital events like Konami and Nintendo now do, but I can see
what. I haven't heard any announcement of a Konami event.
They always do it before.
Yeah, but I haven't even heard it
mentioned. They've got a countdown.
They do.
I think it's the day or 2 days before E3.
Yeah, usually. I mean, in past years it's been like the Friday before.
I remember it's always on super late over here, and it was.
Well, it's on super late here, if I'm not.
Yeah,
mistaken.
but not 2 o'clock in the morning late.
No, I was thinking I like midnight late. They should put it like 3, 4, 5 in the morning.
I just remember 2011's Konami event. Me and Matt at the time writing for That Gamer Hub. Frantically writing the updates and stuff like that for it, and like sharing information like, oh shit, what do we write? And I'm there like this, trying not to fall asleep while they're talking about Metal Gear again. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, that'd be tough for me to do. Try not to fall asleep while they're talking about Metal Gear.
I am super excited. Okay, Metal Gear tangent for just a second. I'm super excited for whatever they've got.
Okay.
The Phantom Pain is going to be amazing. I don't care what anyone says, except I really,
Speaking of Matt and Metal Gear, I had a Raptor notification that he was playing Ground Zeroes.
Yes, I saw he bought a copy of that. He was talking to me about this a few weeks ago, where he says he wasn't sure if he was going to buy it or just wait for it to come on sale, but I guess he gave in eventually.
Yeah, this is my Metal Gear page on the Vita. I've got Metal Gear HD Collection up there in my bubbles, plus Metal Gear Solid and VR missions.
Oh, dang.
Just as it should be.
If the Metal Gear conspiracy theorist nuts are right about Kiefer Sutherland and David Hayter being in the same game, it's going to be fucking amazing. Because Konami are currently hinting at their tagline at the moment is revenge, but it's spelled revenge with a little tiny E3. So Revenge 3, and it's like Snake's back for Revenge 3. Great, just show us the fucking game. Come on.
Actually, what happens is within the first 15 to 20 minutes of the game of what is the Phantom Pain? Yeah, Phantom Pain. Both Snakes die, and you play the rest of it as Naomi Campbell.
Oh, fuck.
And
fuck.
he hits things with a hammer, like Amy from Sonic Adventure.
No.
That's her thing.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. So, I mean, let's move
Sticks
on.
the honey badger.
Nanomachines.
Let's move on.
Yes. Moving on. Dun, 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 dun.
We need Spence on here.
Come on, what else? What else are we excited for?
I do want to see The Last Guardian. That'll be.
Yeah, and let's bring out Half-Life 3 and Rock Band 4 while we're at it.
Yes, they will be part of it. Last Guardian will be DLC for those games.
Last Guardian is dead!
Nope, that game is going to be there, and it's going to be on PS4, and it will be out in 2015, I bet. I bet they either say winter this year or early 2015. And then it will sell.
Winter this year.
So have you seen the NeoGAF thread, the unofficial drinking game of E3?
Yes, I have. I have a NeoGAF account. If you have a NeoGAF account, I'm Opinionated Fish. Occasionally.
I don't have a NeoGAF account. I've not taken the dive just yet.
When you take the dive, it takes forever to get assumed for those. And then when you're a junior member, forever.
So I was reading the rules, and I'm following the rules. I'm going to be drinking during E3. I don't know whether to stream it or not, because I don't know whether the streams will crap out while I'm streaming myself. But you probably see tweets, whatever. But I'm very scared, because if any of these three, Half-Life 3, Shenmue 3, or The Last Guardian get announced, you have to down whatever drink you've got. You have to down the entire bottle, and I'm drinking vodka.
What type of vodka?
I've got very cheap, nasty store brand vodka and Absolute vodka that I bought for celebration after my exam. But
I'm a fan of Grey Goose and Blavad. You can get Blavad over in Europe, and you should.
Yeah,
it is.
I'm also on a alcohol budget.
This color.
Yeah.
It's dark black.
I'm gonna say right here, I guarantee The Last Guardian will be shown at E3 this year. In some capacity.
I mean, they already said something about it.
Yeah, they've already.
I'm expecting.
So it's guaranteed, and also I think Sony might cave and spend a lot of money on Shenmue 3, even though they shouldn't.
Yeah. Well, while we're doing predictions, then I'm gonna say Nintendo is gonna announce two out of the following three will have new installments announced. Metroid, Star Fox, F-Zero.
I would go along with that, except for F-Zero, because they don't want to take the wins out of Mario Kart sales just yet. Even though they're radically different games, it wouldn't look good if Nintendo announcing a bunch of races, have a bunch of races coming all out at the same time. I don't know.
Maybe a 3DS F-Zero then.
Maybe. I would see Nintendo actually making something new.
Yeah, we'll probably see something new, and we'll probably see them bring back an older franchise too. I guess F-Zero would kind of fall under that, but...
Unless they hand it off to Sega again.
What?
I had some early predictions for E3 that I posted in a thread, and one of those was like they're gonna have a Pushmo game on the Wii U, and that already happened.
Yeah.
I was looking for Picross 5, and that already happened.
Yeah.
It's gonna be there though. That one is actually gonna be there because it comes out on the 19th, so it'll be after that. I think with Nintendo, we're going to get. I think we will get an F-Zero for 3DS. But it's also gonna be one of the first ones to have the little things.
So you'd put that on and it would upgrade and stuff like that.
Oh man.
I'm also betting that along with more footage of that new Zelda Hyrule Warriors, there'll be a new Zelda game announced.
Yeah, and that new Zelda game will be in the style of A Link to the Past on the Wii U.
No, they've already done that. So it'll be what the idiot fans want, and it'll be a more realistic looking Zelda. Because Right, okay, go look at Twilight Princess now, and go look at Wind Waker on the game, not the HD remake of Wind Waker, the GameCube version, and go tell me which ones look better now, because Twilight Princess has aged like shit. And it's
Twilight Princess.
It only got released.
Yeah,
really
anyway, I'm kind of also going back to.
I don't want Skyward Sword again.
With
Oh, I hope we get Wario Land 5. That would be nice. On 3DS. Wouldn't you want a Wario Land 5? Or a WarioWare for the 3DS?
I
wouldn't mind a new Wario Land.
I would like a Wario Land 5, but I don't think we'll ever see a Wario game again. Because what was the last...
you know what I want to see?
Shake It was the last one.
Shake It, that's it. The one on the Wii. I don't think that did too well.
I want to see Super Wario Brothers.
With Waluigi and Wario?
Yeah, I want to see... I'm with you. I want to see a Waluigi game.
Yeah.
Oh, what they could do
and Waluigi game.
Is they'll make a Wario and Waluigi game, but it will be completely 3D open world, like Sneak King, like the Burger King Sneak King.
No!
There we go. Yes.
No, I was more thinking like if I was to make a Wario and Waluigi game, it would be Wario doing like God of War style, Wario World on the GameCube combat sort of deal, and then Waluigi would be like, oh, we've got to rob this Mushroom Kingdom bank sort of thing, it'd be like that.
It's so Waluigi's Wario.
Yeah, but except Waluigi's bit stealth would all be stealth sections because
So he's like Sly Cooper. He's Sly Cooper. Yes.
It's like Sly Cooper.
Wario.
And then Wario is just doing like God of War.
Totally not the game I want.
Yeah, I want that. That's the ones I would want.
Oh man, I'm just picturing Waluigi jumping across rooftops, holding like some type of staff. Yes.
We kind of got off the rails with the press events versus Nintendo's approach. Well, not only are they doing their digital event, they're doing 3 days of streaming. They're doing their Smash Brothers tournament. They're doing their Best Buy in-store thing. And I think Nintendo is probably doing the best job of trying to get to their fans. Although
they're going to give us just Zelda Williams dancing on a pole.
Yeah,
that's what she's doing for E3.
Yeah, she says she's got.
Yeah, and I think Sony doing their movie theater event is kind of a step in their direction. Except the closest of Sony's movie theater events is Miami, 2 hours away.
Ow.
And the closest Best Buy participating, Fort Myers isn't participating this year. Closest two are Tampa and Miami.
What do you think? I've noticed that we've kind of avoided Microsoft here. What do you think they would have?
Shit.
Halo.
So do you actually think they'll show off those two Halo things? Halo 5 obviously.
Halo 5 and Halo HD, whatever remix, Ultra Special Edition.
Halo 2 HD.
But
I
actually like the multiplayer on those.
Yeah. Well,
multiplayer.
I don't give a shit.
Because I'm.
Although, what was the name of that? Okay, what is the name of that thing they have? It's kind of like a Jet Set Radio Future style thing, and it looks really.
Sunset Overdrive.
Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah.
Fine folks.
I want to see more of that. Yeah, I want to see more of that. And I want a proper Banjo-Kazooie sequel. Come on, Microsoft.
Do you think they'll let Rare make a non-Kinect game?
A threequel. Sorry, actually.
I don't think the one game that needs to be announced, that needs to be made, that could save the Kinect, and it will absolutely 100% not happen, Dance Central 4.
Nope, fuck that.
That's the game they absolutely need, and it's not going to happen.
Dance Central 4 with Playroom-style streaming. And Playroom-style content. That's exactly what will happen with Dance Central 4.
That's what they needed to save the Kinect.
Silence, Harmonix fanboy.
It will be like you're watching Sky Network. That's what will happen.
I'm saying this is the best.
Dance Central 4 on the Kinect will become, if they do live streaming with it, it'll become Sky Network. You know the fix. Okay. Okay.
It was the best-selling Kinect franchise, the best-rated Kinect franchise. I think it was a mistake, whether it was Microsoft's mistake or Harmonix's, not to have a Dance Central title launch with Hbomb last year.
But here's the thing: would the audience that would buy, except for like you, Harold, the audience that would actually buy Dance Central, like my housemates. Okay, let's take those for a couple of my housemates, for example, who aren't gamers. They have a Kinect and Dance Central because it was cheap. It was £150, or it was in a £200 bundle or something like that here in the UK. Would they want to spend £450 just to play Dance Central? I don't think so. I think that's why Harmonix have backed off from it. That's why I don't think we'll see it until the Hbomb becomes cheaper. I don't think we'll see it.
Well, I'm saying with the Kinect still in the box, I think Dance Central 4 would have been the one game they absolutely needed, and they blew it.
Dance Central 4 Celebrity Edition. That's what they needed for it. Like, you could have weird streaming, kind of like Playroom.
Yeah.
And then you could have tournaments where you could dance off against people in other countries or against famous people for money.
Yeah.
Anyway, you want to shake your thing for Christina Aguilera.
But yeah.
And people from Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, and
like Drew Carey.
Somebody on a podcast I just listened to, I want to say it was the CatCast, but I'm not sure, might have been Player One, made that point that Microsoft and Harmonix should have had Dance Central at Xbox One launch.
I just don't think it would have done anything. Because of the price point, I don't think it would have done anything.
Yeah. Well, it couldn't have been any worse.
Unless it was like it would have worked in Microsoft's and Harmonix's favor if it was released on both 360 and the One.
Kind of like what they're doing with Fantasia.
Pretty much. Also, I don't think Harmonix could get a Dance Central game out for the Xbox One's launch because of how much work they had piled on them.
Yeah.
Maybe they should have started a Kickstarter for it.
Hey,
proud backer of the Amplitude Kickstarter.
Fantasia would be further delayed if they were making a Dance Central. In fact, I don't think Fantasia will ever actually come out at this rate. When's that meant to come out? 2015?
No, this fall.
This fall? Yeah. Okay.
Oh. Harmonix has been showing up. That is looking nice, and they are going to actually be announcing the actual release date on Friday.
I will be surprised if it does make it for fall. I will be surprised.
The way everybody has been getting everything has been getting delayed, but
yeah,
I believe in Harmonix.
That's also like this E3.
They have said this year.
Yeah, but this E3 was meant to be the one where it was like, look, next generation, look at all this cool shit. And it's going to
be pushed back, yeah.
And it's still going to be, look at all this cool shit you can't play for another year because we're delaying it all. Because
one more thing. Let's wrap this up. We're already 90 minutes in plus.
Yes. I was going to say, I don't expect Fantasia to come out because she is married, last I checked.
Anyway, is E3 still relevant?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Depends. There's so many companies. I think we need more small events. Yeah. I think these companies need to pack up their vans and show up at my doorstep.
But the thing with E3 that at points people have been making is that it brings in the attention from the mainstream media.
Yeah.
It's, hey, look, all these nerds are in town. What are they doing? Oh shit! Look at all these cool video games.
One of the things that puts Nintendo at a disadvantage with their.
It puts them at a disadvantage, but like the thing that everyone is missing, that also Nintendo kind of missing, by not having the big presence at E3, is because Nintendo could easily do like hey, look, all this stuff that we've announced, now watch our digital event to see more of it. They could do that. But they're smart by going, hey, look, digital event, we'll show fucking everything for 2 hours, and Iwata will have his broken English poured into your brains with his silky voice. It's great. It'll be great.
Please understand.
But please understand. But what Sony and Microsoft are missing, which they kind of figured out last year when they announced the Xbox One and the PS4 with those mini
events.
Yeah. What they're missing is that you need to keep doing those. That's why Nintendo keeps cropping up in the news.
Yeah.
Is because of all these directs. You need to keep the news.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's the enthusiast press. They're not popping up in the. They're not doing so much popping up in the mainstream.
But then,
I'm not sure we really want the mainstream press to be. Every time the mainstream press focuses on these, the first thing they're going to be is like, hey, look at the new Halo 5 at E3 2014. Weeks after Elliot Rodger, who loved Halo.
Okay, that's
some asshole. His name is some asshole.
Some asshole.
So some mainstream media would do that, but it's like they're missing. But they can. It's still the mainstream media. You still want it. You still have to get their attention, and that's what E3 does. It brings the attention. And that's why Nintendo might not be doing as well, is because they keep. It's like a secret fan club, no one's allowed in here, but everyone's allowed in. The doors. It's like everyone's allowed in, but no one fucking knows because they announce those things it's either a week in advance or the night before. It's never there's no schedule or anything like that because it's they just bring it water in.
I wish Nintendo would just do a regular. A monthly Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, here's this game that we announced last time. Here's a little bit more information. It could be 5-10 minutes.
And if they want to do specials, they can toss in a few specials, but have maybe one monthly Nintendo Direct on
that Smash Bros. Direct
Thursday of the month at 5 p.m. Eastern.
And that's what Microsoft and Sony should be doing. They should be taking advantage of those blank slots and just keep feeding news. Here's 45 new minutes of... it could just be 45 minutes dedicated to Drive Club or 45 minutes dedicated to Fantasia on Xbox One. Just...
Frank says no one in Hbomb Friends is checking the W&A, which I don't know what that is.
WWNA? WNA?
W and A.
W and A.
No,
I'm not sure what that means.
No.
Frank, we don't know what that is.
First thing that pops into my head is, you can't see me when I hear about that. WNA is what, Wrestling National something?
No, not and.
And A.
No,
I don't know.
Oh, Q and A.
Q&A.
Oh,
they do that. Oh yeah, they do that with that's what part of that one that hour and a half. The first 30 minutes of that will be press conference.
No, I think he means on the Google app. I'm sorry, Frank.
Oh.
Yeah. Pat says nice jammies, and no one is monitoring the conversations. Connect blogs in the garbage. There was something best-selling that used Connect. The media can also read the internet. Doesn't need an expo. That's what Frank said. I know, Pat. Let's hijack this shit. GTA 5, GTA 5, GTA 5, GTA 5, Rockstar.
Here's why the Entertainment Exposition should change
Dead Central D-List Celebrities Edition.
Yeah, but
Yes, Dead Central D-List Celebrities Edition.
Oh yeah. Let's wrap this up.
Yes. Well, okay. One last thing to just answer. Whoever said, was it Frank who said the media can read the internet?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. They can and they don't. That's why they need a big physical.
But we're using it wrong. They're using it wrong. They should announce all the news, but the E3 Expo itself, they should just load it with celebrities and then have pictures of it, like 23 celebrities you didn't believe played video games.
They try to do that every year. I think one year Snoop Dogg was there. No one knew why, but he was.
Snoop Dogg is always there. He owns part of some of these, and like he lives in the area.
Okay.
Like in the hills.
Okay. So
people just they show up.
hbombandfriends.libsyn.com, hbomb and hbombandfriends.com, Facebook, YouTube, twitch.tv/hbombandfriends, and I will be streaming tomorrow at noon Eastern at twitch.tv/hbombandfriends, and Friday at 2.
Cool.
Oh, if I may pimp DMG Ice or Radio DMG.
Okay.
Are we gonna do that again, Alex?
We're getting to that. Okay. Pat says Skyrim. No! And Frank says yes, they do, and they skew it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So where are we? Yeah, twitch.tv/hbombandfriends tomorrow at noon, Friday at 2, until whenever. I think Friday's stream probably no later than 5:30 because I usually eat pizza at my folks. So Retron 5 or no Retron 5, that stream's probably ending by 5:30.
It's the H-Bomb stream of whatever.
Yeah.
However that song goes.
But yeah, iTunes, Stitcher, Twitters, USF H-Bomb, Lime Wizard, DMG Ice, H-Bomb and Friends. Random podcast shoutouts, dmgice.com, radiodmg.com, animationdessert.com.
Yeah, that's still fine. Oh, I would like to say that our last Radio DMG episode, I was looking through my old archives and I found an old conference call with Peter Main where they were announcing the Game Boy Advance and the GameCube. So we put that in there, and it's totally worth listening to because I really wish Peter Main were still running the company. when you watch the rhetoric for that, because he's like, it's just the GameCube was what they were trying to aim for us. Mm-hmm. This was before we got before the Reggie Fils-Aimé and Iwata stuff, and this is back when Nintendo was more about gamers.
Business. Yeah.
Yeah. It's worth checking out.
I think
it's worth checking out to see how bad old journalism is. I mean, Adam Sessler, he's a nice guy, but he's not a journalist. Oh, no, he's nice. He's a nice guy. But his first question for Nintendo about the GameCube was, so how are you guys going to compete with the Xbox? Seriously.
Anyway, Irrational Passions and the Irrational Passions Mario Kart Hypecast should be out soon. I was on it. Game Enthused, Fantastic Neighborhood, Cross Border Gaming, new show on Thursday. Retro Function Podcast, DMGIce.com. Oh, I already mentioned that. Retro Nick Radio, Podcast 64. We actually did a show on Friday, me and Matt, and I'm still working on editing. Hopefully we'll have that up by the end of the week. And we hope to do another show the Friday after E3.
Hey, is there you should also pitch the H-Bomb and Friends Facebook stuff. We're all on Facebook. I
already did that!
Oh, you did?
H-Bomb Friends, youtube.com/H-Bomb and Friends.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Also, go read my stuff on nerdable.co.uk.
I will.
Threes.
Yeah, ease of threes. Yeah, not my decision, but
E3.
It's cool on there. They've got their own podcast. I don't know what.
So next week we're doing a whole bunch of E3 podcasts. I'm trying to get folks together. I'm thinking anywhere from 1 to 4 podcasts on Monday. Either one after each press event, or maybe just one after Ubisoft, and then push Sony to the next morning with after Nintendo.
The N3rd cast. Okay.
And then
I'm noting it now.
And then one podcast each of the 3 nights of E3. Actually, no. Thursday will be CBG.
I think you should just pile all the conferences into one podcast, do one mega show.
Well, I want to get something out on Monday, so I'll probably do through Ubisoft on Monday, and then Sony and Nintendo on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it should be fun. E3.
Because you know how late Sony runs.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even worse for you.
That's always the nice thing, is that it always finishes around. What time does it start?
8.
Like 8. So
yeah, 5 Pacific, 8 or 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern.
So around this time, and so it should finish around about 3-4 o'clock in the morning. That will be fun.
Yeah. So yeah, you'd probably rather just do it after Ubisoft.
Yeah, I will join you for some of those. So
yeah.
Hopefully.
But yeah, we're gonna have nightly wrap-ups on Tuesday and Wednesday. CBG will handle the E3 wrap-up on Thursday, and then we will have a special guest who I still need to nail down, who is actually at E3 the week after next.
Cool.
Man, I wish E3 wasn't the same week as Denver Comic-Con. Although this year, if I luck out, we'll be able to do an interview with Karen Gillian.
Ooh.
Oh, Amy Pond!
Yeah.
Come along, Pond.
Yeah.
They have so many people this year.
Besides E3, we still want to do our favorite games podcast, the one with Frank, Nick, and Alex. Frank wants to do another SNES special, and I want to do a show about the Big Bang Theory. If you're interested, please let me know. And
so the show about the Big Bang Theory,
yeah.
Can it be with people who don't really watch the show except for occasional random YouTube stuff? I mean, Sarah watched the show, but I watch her watching the show, and it makes me
Hi,
mad.
Sarah!
Grey's Anatomy makes me mad. Oh, he says hi. Oh, Grey's Anatomy pisses me right off.
But yeah, so thank you, Philip.
You're welcome. You're now caught up.
Joel?
Anytime.
And holy crap, this is a long show. And everything is fine, and Frank says he'd rather go to Denver Comic-Con than E3.
Yeah, honestly, okay, this year they have Adam West, they have LeVar Burton, William Shatner. Oh, yeah, that too. But yeah, you can try out the new
Good night, everybody!
Okay, good night.
Good night. Thank you.
You are now caught up. Good night.
Titles.
Oh, let's look at our titles thing.
Titles. Okay, titles. Molly Waifus. Did I spell that right, Joel?
It's L-O-L-I.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Molly Waifus. Big Anime Turd. I want a new dub. Piss Attack. Giant fucking robots. It's Nintendogs. I just stepped in Amalur. A little too French. No, you kinky bitch. The Town of the Future and Grand Theft Mario.
As tempting as it would be to call this Hbomb and lowly waifus. Ooh.
Hbomb and the Big Anime Turd.
or Hbomb. I just stepped in Amalur. I kind of like that one.
Yeah, go with that one.
Not the Hbomb man, but yeah, I think yeah. Or
Hbomb just stepped in Amalur. Yeah.
I need a good Hbomb and the Town of the Future, Hbomb and Giant Fucking Robots.
I say go with that one.
Yeah. Either Giant Fucking Robots or the Town of the Future. Actually, if that's delivered like the Town of the Future, kind of like drama, that's not bad.
Okay, you get the second line. Frank says, "No, you kinky bitch."
Oh yes.
No, so we're going with Hbomb in the Town of the Future, or I Just Stepped in Amalur.
Yes, that sounds good.
You gotta be line 2.
Okay, because I have to do the whole Futurama World of Tomorrow type person.
Okay, Joel, you want to be line 1 or line 3?
Hang on, one sec. Which one? I'll be line 1. Where's this?
Oh, bottom of the outline.
There we go.
Frank says Hbomb and kinky bitches. No.
I'll be line 3. Let's go with that one.
Okay. You're listening to... Sorry. You're listening to Hbomb and Friends, episode 34.
Hbomb and the Town of the Future!
Or I just stepped in Amalur.
Oh, I love that, Joel. Thank you.
Oh, that was great.